Hello viewers, today I have with me here, this is NanoStation M2. This is a powerful access point that you can use to extend your internet network in places where you don't have coverage. So this radio is very powerful. So today we are going to unbox it. I just got it. I'm going to configure it and show you how to set it up. I'm going to go step by step from unboxing it to getting our cables ready, terminating the cables that we need to get this um, access point set up. This is what we'll be doing. Let me unbox it. This is the M2 nano station radio. This is where this is where we are going to connect the Cat6 cable. Okay, and then for me to configure it, I need to connect the Cat6 cable here after I power it on. So I'll open it. This is the PoE, the power over internet. This is what powers the nano station. And then it came with its power cable. These are also included cable tie that you can use to fasten it on wherever you are installing the radio. The idea is that this radio is used to extend your wireless signal. Let's say you have in your home or in your office where you have dead zones, where you don't have internet signal. Okay, you can use this radio to extend the network to those places. So that's what we are going to do now. I'm going to configure it. So after I finish unboxing it, the next thing is to prepare my cable so that I'll start the configuration. And before that, these are the tools I'll be using. This is a cable tester. Okay, this is a cable tester which I'll use to test the continuity of the cable I'm going to terminate, if it is okay or not. Then this is my clipping tool, okay, which I will use to terminate the cable. And then here I have the cutter. So these are the tools I'll be working with. Next, I'm going to terminate two cables. Okay, this is a Cat6 cable which I'm going to use to configure this radio. I'm going to terminate two of it. Okay, a yard is okay, so I can cut this. I can cut this, and I can get another yard. Okay, I will now prepare this cable. Go ahead. So prepare it. You peel the cable. You gently peel it to avoid destroying the shield inside. So you make sure you gently peel the cable. Okay. So this is a Cat6 cable. It's usually 4 strands of cable inside it. Okay. So you cut out this, cut this out. Okay, I forgot to show you this is the RJ45 clip which we are going to use to terminate this cable. So I'll prepare the cable now. the color code for terminating RJ45 is very simple. Have stripe orange, orange. Then we have stripe green. They will have stripe green, blue. Stripe green, blue. Then we have stripe blue, green. Following it will be stripe brown, brown. So this is the order of arranging the cable. Cut it so that all the edges will be equal. Insert the RJ45 clip gently into, okay, and then you clip it. All right, let's check if my termination is properly done. Okay, so let's test for the continuity and to be sure that this cable is okay. So let's check. As you can see, the cable termination was done properly. So this cable is good to go. This is how I'm going to terminate the other cable, because we need two of this cable to get the NanoStation configured. So I'll terminate the second one. Okay, so this is the other cable now. Let's check if it is okay. As you can see, this one is also okay. So we are good to go. The next thing we are going to do is to connect the access point. So it has a main port here and a secondary. It has a main port here and a secondary port. So connect it on the main port. So on my system, you connect the cable on the system. Okay. So this is connected to the main port and the other one to the system. Here is the power. So connect the power. This is the PoE. I've connected the power to the PoE. This will go into your power extension. As you can see, this is powered on now. I'm going to use this second Cat6 cable I've prepared. I'll use this I'll connect on the second port of this. Connect to the second port of this. And this one goes into the PoE. This very one now will go into the PoE. Now look at the PoE. Decide that this is the place where we are going to connect it. The LAN port. This LAN is the one that brings internet to the PoE. This is where we are going to connect the Cat6 cable going to the radio, because this is the place that it can have power from. So we'll connect the Cat6 from here so that we can power the PoE. So the PoE is now on. The next thing is for us to go to the system and then do the configuration. So this is how we are going to configure it. Follow me. Okay, so the next thing we are going to do is to configure the laptop. For you to be able to see the NanoStation, you need to configure the app and you need to configure your system as using a static IP. So go to your network. That's where we are going to input the IP that we can use. So here is your network setting. You need to do this so that the system, your computer will be able to communicate with the router. The router has a dedicated IP that it uses to communicate. So that's what we need to set up in our system to enable us log into the router. IPv4, click on properties. Here we are going to tell the computer to use the IP we are going to give it. So the IP is 192.168.1.21. The subnet mask is 255.255.255.0, while the gateway, default gateway is 192.168.1.20. Okay, so you click OK. We are good to go. So now that we have configured our default IP, we need to communicate the this guy here. We need to communicate this guy. So the radio will now enter the IP we have already set as static, which is 192.168.1.1.20. Okay, press enter. Okay, I need to turn off my wireless signal so that there won't be any conflict. Let me turn off my wireless so that the system can communicate only on the local area network. So I'll try that again. Now that my wireless signal is off, you can see this is the page that is going to show you. If you click on this, it's going to take you back. So click on advanced and scroll down where you have accept the risk and continue. Okay, good. So this is the page where we are going to be configuring the NanoStation. So the default password for NanoStation is UBNT, and the password also is UBNT. So country, I use United States. You can use any country, but why I like using United States is that when you use United States, the range of the radio, it gives you a wider range, the kilometers, the distance you can cover. So that's why I prefer using the United States. It gives me a higher range to scale when I'm setting up the radio. So this is the default one, and then agree the terms, login. Once that is done well, you'll be logged into the administration board of the NanoStation. This is where you are going to configure this access point any way you want it, whether as a bridge network, as an access point, or as a repeater. This is the admin interface. So the first thing I'm going to do here is to go to system, come to system, and this is not compulsory, but it's important that when you are configuring any router, you give it a unique name that you can use to identify it on your network. Because I have a facility where I have over 20 of these NanoStations, so if you leave their name default as M2, okay, you will not be able to know the radio that is assigned in a particular location. So it's always advisable that when you are configuring a radio, you change the name, give it a unique name, so that when you're on your network, you will be able to identify that, oh, this is radio 1 in location this. So that's why I need to change the name now. So I'll give it a name. I'll call this research department. Okay, this is the name I choose to give it. Now the next thing is, this is the administrative username. You can change the name or leave it as default. Then another thing is, you need to set your passwords. It's important you set your password. Why is password important when you are setting up an access point or a radio as a network engineer? This is where you are going to, protect intruders into, because everybody knows that the default password for NanoStation is UBNT. So somebody can stay within your network. If you do not change this password, the person can use this default password, come into your radio, reprogram it, and even knock you out of it. So this place is very, very sensitive. So immediately you log into your radio, the first thing you do is to do what? To change the password. So we'll go ahead and change the password. The current password is UBNT. So I will set my new password. Set my new password. Okay, once that is done, you click on change. Click on change. So I've changed the name of my NanoStation. I have changed the password here. The next place we are going to go to is advanced. Go to advanced. Look at this. This is the distance. The total, this router can travel up to 16 kilometers, up to 16.9 miles. That is 27.2 kilometers. That's the highest it can travel. So it has a very wide range of coverage. That is why I said when I started that this is my preferred access point when it comes to reliability and the coverage. Okay, so but I'm not going to use all of the range, so I'll use up to that's 16. I'll use up to 12. I'll use up to 10. Okay, and then it's already an auto, so if there's need for it to expand, it's going to expand the network. That is that. There's one important thing that we also need to do here. This place, PoE pass-through. This PoE pass-through is used when you want to extend network further. So instead of running Cat6 cable from your server room to all the places you have the NanoStation, from one NanoStation you can loop to the next one. So if you don't enable this PoE pass-through, that won't be possible. That is why it's advisable, whether you are looping or not, turn it on, because you never can tell what you will need to do in the future. So when you put on once you turn on the PoE pass-through, you can click on change. We are done at this place. The next place we are going to move into is the network. We are now at the network. Everything, if you want to make it a bridge network, you want to make it configure it as a router or as a solo router, but we are using it as a bridge, network. Okay, so you leave everything the way they are, and then you come here and you change it to DSCP. So DSCP means that when we connect it to our network, it's going to get IP from our network pool. So my network will give it IP. Okay, you can also decide to give it a static IP, but for the purpose of this training, I'm doing a static IP so that the router should collect IP automatically from my network. Okay, that is the only thing we need to do here. You click on change. Okay, so we are done with the network interface. We'll go to wireless interface now. So now we are on the wireless interface. We want to use this radio as an access point. We want to use it to extend our network. So we are going to change it to access points. That's actually what I want to use the radio to achieve. Okay. This is SSID. You set it, give it the SSID. That's the name you want, the wireless network name. People can see and connect to it. Okay, that's the ID that you can set any ID. So I'm giving it my own ID. Okay. Now, another place we are going to pay attention is the channel width. This is 40 megahertz. Because we want this, if you leave it at 40 megahertz, not all devices can connect to this band, like the mobile phones. Okay, the laptop can connect. So, but the band channel width that you can use that will accommodate both laptops, phones, any other mobile devices is 20 megahertz. So that's very important. You need to change it. Then leave every other thing the way they are. And then the output power, that's the power the router is going to be using. So we'll reduce it a bit. Up to 20 is okay. 20 dBn is okay. All right. I think that's what we need to do here. And then we change. All right. Remember, all these changes I'm making, I have not applied any one of them. That is why you can see test, apply, and discard. So when I'm done with all my configuration, I need to go and apply all of them. The router will reboot, and then after the router reboots, that's when I can now disconnect the router from my laptop and connect to my network switch to test if my configuration are right and if the router is browsing. So the last thing we are going to do now, before we disconnect the router from my system, we need to come to this Air Max. So this, we are going to remove, de-enable this Air Max. Okay, you de-enable it. So once you de-enable it, you change. Once you disable it, you change. At this time, so as you apply, you allow the router will process all the configuration that you did, and then it will turn off, and then you can use it. So we'll allow the router to, it's applying those configurations that I made. That's exactly what it is doing, trying to apply them. So we'll allow you to apply it, and then we can put it off. So at this time, I'll remove the power of, at this time, I'll remove the power of the NanoStation, the cable. Okay. So it's now time to test if our configuration was done right. If it was done right, we are going to get internet access on this radio when I connect it to my network. So let's go and check. This is the cassis coming from the PoE adapter. I'll connect it to the main. I'll connect it to the main. This is the second LAN cassis cable. I'll connect this one to the PoE. I'll connect this one to the PoE. I'll connect it to the main. You can see the radio is powered. This is the second cassis cable. I will connect this to the PoE switch, the LAN port of the PoE switch. This is the LAN port of, this is the second cable. I will connect it to the LAN port of the PoE switch. This other end of it, this is the cable coming from the PoE switch. This one goes into your switch, your network. This one goes into your network. Let's check. So as you can see, the main switch is connected, and this is the LAN, indicating that there's a network coming into the radio. So let's go ahead and check if we have network on this radio. So I'll go to my network, and then connect to GIS. So there is internet, and we can browse. Okay, there's internet. Let's check. We can browse. Okay. So this is a system I'm looking at now. The picture of a system I'm looking. So there's internet on my system, and we can browse. So guys, this is how you can configure the NanoStation radio for access point. You can see it's browsing. Okay, this shows that there are connection to this radio and it's working. All right, let me know in the comment section if you have configured this radio before, if there are issues you encountered and how you solved it, and if you like what I'm doing, let me also know in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, share, like what I'm doing, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.